This is David Arquette. I played Dewey Riley in the Scream films. I have a strange mustache and a gold tooth. That's for hopefully for another role. But I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Boys podcast.
Excuse me, man. I thought maybe we'd walk. Such a nice night out. Got a flashlight. You're not scared, are you? How do you know that my dim-witted inexperience isn't merely a subtle form of manipulation used to lower people's expectations, thereby enhancing my ability to effectively maneuver within any given situation?
I'm sorry.
Wait. How do I know that this is you, Gail, not the killer?
Dewey, open the fucking door. It's me.
Don't you think that's what the killer would say?
Sheriff, you're not cheating on your wife if you eat my lemon square.
Yeah, but I would be cheating on my diet.
The head. What? You have to shoot him in the head, or they always come back.
Dewey, who gives a fuck?
I do.
No, Dewey!
And welcome back to another episode of the Boys Podcast. My guest today is an actor, voice actor, writer, director, producer, and retired world champion wrestler. You may have seen and heard my guest in projects such as Benny in the movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Carter in Airheads, Dewey Riley in the Scream franchise, Ned GB in Free Money, Rob Geller in Never Been Kissed, Max's dad in Shark Boy and Lava Girl, Scully in Jake and the Neverland Pirates, and many more. So welcome the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. David Arquette. Welcome to you.
Thank you, Joey. How are you, buddy?
Good. How you doing? How's David doing? That's actually how you doing?
Doing good. I hear you have a birthday coming up day after Christmas.
Yes. Crazy.
Exciting, buddy. Happy birthday.
Appreciate it. How you been though? You been good, David?
I've been good. Life's good. Yeah.
That's good. Very good to hear that. And you're a legend. You're very talented at your acting and
People throw the legend word around, but that's very nice of you to say.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. So, David, what made you want to become an actor, and who would you say is your biggest inspiration for acting? I know your parents and your grandfather were also in the industry. I remember reading something like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah, my whole family's sort of involved in it. I'm a fourth generation, so my family goes back to vaudeville and maybe even before that, but I don't know. I really got inspired by a amazing high school teacher named Ben DeBaldo, who cast me in a high school play, and that really sort of changed the course of my life and gave me direction, gave me confidence that I could do this as a profession.
that's what it's like. Is there anybody you like idolize, like any actors growing up you like?
Absolutely. I got to work. You mentioned Free Money. I got to work with Marlon Brando in that, and that was really amazing because he's one of my favorites. Some other favorites, Jack Nicholson. Back in the day, all of his stuff. James Dean, different.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's cool. I could you're very good at what you do. Like honestly, I can't name a better actor. For example, like one of your roles, like Dewey. I can't name a better actor to portray Dewey except you.
Dewey was an interesting role. I really was fortunate to be able to work with Wes Craven on that, and I learned a lot from him. He was really a mentor and a really incredible person. He had faith. It takes a lot. It's a really kind of tough business. There's a lot of rejection. You can audition and, you never really know. But when you sort of meet somebody like Wes Craven, who really sort of gets you on a different level, you can then explore certain aspects of the character and of the role and, and really find stuff that some people just don't take the time to really give you that opportunity.
True. That's he was like the late great Wes Craven. Like I'm like it's so cool you got to like meet him and work with. Like how was that like personally? Because Lil Simon, how was that to work with?
It was great. I got to do 4 movies with him and got to know him as a friend, and it was really wonderful. He was just he's a really interesting guy. He loved music. He was really really into music, and he was really into film, and he was really into he was a professor. He was very much of a teacher. He was a bird watcher. and and he just had this nature about him, this real calm sort of sense of humor. He wasn't sort of, what you'd think Wes Craven, some dark, scary character at all. He was very sweet and kind, and he did little things like he cast my father in Scream 2 as the sheriff, and it was a surprise to me. And I showed up on set and I got to work with my father, which was like, I didn't even realize at the time how important it was and how thoughtful that was of him. He also cast my brother in a role. He was just really thoughtful about all that kind of stuff. He allowed I had a band for a little while, and he put a couple of the songs on the Scream albums to help give me a break. And when I directed my first film, he like gave me a list of films to watch, and he was just really incredibly supportive and kind person.
See, we need more of that. Like, oh my god, like like we need support, positivity, love. You know what I mean? Like we need more of that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, that's for sure.
Well, and I always like to live by that's cool with your family. Like I like to say family first. I'm a big family guy, so I love
Yeah,
family.
absolutely. I got to meet your family and your sisters and
Yeah.
your mom and your brother.
Yeah. And that was so cool. I got to meet you that day. I was after I met you, I was like crying, believe it or not, because I was like,
Aw,
oh my god, I got to meet my hero. You know what I mean?
that's so sweet. Thank you.
Of course. What is your favorite role you've portrayed? If of all your roles, what's your favorite if you could choose?
I mean, I really do think it's Dewey because, you don't often get an opportunity to play the same character for like 25 years, and worked with an amazing cast over and over again, and so many credible people, work with a director like Wes. So that to me, it had the most impact on my life.
If you are you able to say like a Dewey quote for me? Like if you able to say a quote? I love Dewey.
Sure. You're not scared, are you?
I
That
like how
was
you
funny because they in that scene they had given me they give me a flashlight, and then I remember my dad used to do that at like campfires. So the line was, "You're not scared, are you?" And so then I just used the flashlight like that. And that was a moment where Wes was like, "Hey, can you deliver that line as if you might be the killer?"
ooh.
Yeah.
That'd have been cool if Dewey was a killer. That'd been like a cool twist, you know?
I had to pitch it a couple times when the different sort of scripts were up in the air. They had to rewrite a few of the screams sort of halfway through. And I had pitched that, but Wes was really dead set against that not happening. He was like, "No, no, that would never be Dewey."
Is there a movie you wanted to be the killer in the first, second, third, fourth?
Um, I had pitched it more as like not thinking that that would be my last chance to be in the films, and so I wasn't thinking about it that much. Um, yeah, so no, I don't know. Scream 3 was so off the hinges,
Oh,
anything would have been possible.
yeah, that is true. That's true. Now, can you walk me through the audition process? How did you land the role of Dewey? Like, walk me through that process. That must have
I
been.
had just done a film called John's that was sort of a Sundance darling, and I had a lot of buzz. And sort of when you get buzz in this business, you can kind of you don't necessarily audition first off. You can meet. You have a little more uh, clout where you can kind of go in. And when I went in and met, they wanted me to meet for either like the Stu role or like the Jamie Kennedy's role,
Randy?
Randy. Yeah, and when I went in and met, I said I really love the role of Dewey,
Hmm.
and I knew that Courtney Cox was going to be in it, and I was a huge fan of hers. So the idea of working opposite her was really exciting as well.
That's pretty cool. And then you got the wow. And then you got the role, you know?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty
Wes said, "Oh, that's really interesting. Let me think about it." Luckily, I got the role. I'm not sure if I had auditioned. I may have. It's all such a blur. I was told recently that I had auditioned um, for Quentin Tarantino one time. And I was like, "What for Reservoir Dogs?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't even remember it." I don't. I mean, would have thought. I mean, I loved the film, and I remembered all that, but I hadn't remember actually going into the room. I was so nervous. I'm sure I used to be so nervous about going into auditions.
Yeah, I'd be like nervous, like especially like Tarantino. That's a big name in the industry. You know what I mean? Like, oh my
Yeah, but
god.
he was just starting out. So, but he had written an incredible script, and uh, yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even remember auditioning. I kind of felt embarrassed.
Wow, it's just. And I remember too, like what your I think one of your first roles was in The Outsiders. Is the TV show is Two Bit, which was really cool to see. You know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a fun TV show to be a part of. I learned a lot from that. It was my first role. I got that right out of high school, and yeah, I learned a lot. I learned how to sort of work with a camera. It was a 1 hour single camera shoot. So it was like making 13 little movies.
That's really cool, though. Honestly, that's really cool. I think, and it was cool too. Like if even the cast, like I remember seeing episode. Like I saw Leonardo DiCaprio. I think in an episode, if I remember correctly, he was in the show.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he had a small role in the first one.
Like wow, that's pretty cool. Now, is there a certain type role you would love to portray? Like a certain role, like a western time travel, like a certain
I
role.
love westerns. I mean, whenever you do a western, it's like you're a kid again, you know. And uh, yeah, I mean, there's nothing like riding horseback and being on the set all day, like shooting guns, and I don't know. There's something really fun about it. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to do western. I just like doing a lot of different things. Now it's really working with the right directors, cast, and producers, and writers. I mean, it all comes from the story. The story's the most important thing to start with.
That's true. And you, I think you own, don't you own horses in your barnyard? Don't you guys
I
own?
do, yeah. We have some horses. Yeah, we rescued a couple of 4 horses, and yeah. So
Oh,
actually like a farmer now. Oh, every morning I'm picking up horse poo.
Farmer David.
Yeah, that's the truth. It's the whole thing.
Well, now, do you have a favorite Scream film character and then favorite memory behind the scenes? Of curiosity.
The first Scream movie was the most impressionable because we had all just met. We didn't really know it was going to be this big phenomenon. The whole cast was just so wonderful, and we all still really get along. I mean, all the casts were really great, but that first one was really tremendous. Their different casts got along differently. Like that last cast in Scream 5 got along really well. The young group, and they were really special as well. Scream 4 as well. Scream 3 was a little strange because we shot it a lot in Los Angeles, so everyone was going back to their house. There wasn't as much of a element of everyone hanging out and getting to know each other. Scream 2, it was also a little strange. It was in LA and in Atlanta, so that was a little scattered as well.
Now, do you have a favorite character besides Dewey? Favorite character?
I played a role in a film called Dream of the Fishes with an amazing director named Finn Taylor. That was really fun. And I got to work with a guy named Brad Hunt, who I'm still friends with, who's a cowboy. He's amazing. He like in his regular time, he like breaks horses. Like
Oh my,
takes wild horses and trains them. So that's pretty. He's an amazing guy. But also Ready to Rumble was really fun to work with all the, Scott Conn. I had known him for years. Oliver Platt, such amazing actor, and then all the wrestlers. Getting to know Diamond Dallas Page has been a really great experience in my life.
that's excuse my language, but that's really fucking cool. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
it was really cool.
That's really cool. Do you have any behind the scenes memories on Scream? Like anything behind the scenes, like you remember like a cool moment that happened?
Yeah, I remember there were a few little silly moments. I remember them sort of Scaring Nev one time where they've like put a dressed up Ghostface in another closet. So after she had like shot the scene, then another Ghostface popped out of another closet. That was really funny.
I could imagine she's like, what the hell?
Yeah. Also, like, there's the one scene where she's being chased by Ghostface, and then I'm holding up a mask, and it
Oh yeah.
opens up, and then she sees it, and for a second you think the Ghostface at the door, and then it pulls out, and it's me, and I go, ah.
I found this.
And I had the opportunity of watching Wes Craven watch the audience watch that scene, and that was really one of my favorite moments of ever, because I was watching him, and he was like looking around. He was just had this kind of like little sly smirk on his face, and he's watching, and everyone goes ah at the scare, and then they saw the reveal, and then the laugh, and then he just got such a kick out of it. I just remember looking at him. I was just so in awe of it.
That's a memorable scene in the movie. That's one of my favorite scenes. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was a pretty funny scene.
Now, if you didn't go into acting, wrestling, anything in the entertainment industry, what do you think your career would have been, and what other hobbies do you have besides?
Oh, well, besides being on a farm, I love animals, but probably something in the arts. I love being an artist and just making art, and I'm writing at the moment. I've been writing some things, and I think everyone should tap into the artistic side of them, even if it's like crafts or whatever. If it's baking, if it's writing something, if it's nowadays you can like collect different colored leaves and make a picture out of it, or make a design out of it, or learn how to knit. I think there's something really important about doing something with your hands, like being tactile and like really kind of creating out of nothing. Even baking, like any kind of thing that really that you love to do. I think that's a really important element of staying happy, and just because life can be, you can get kind of it has ups and downs. At least it does for me. And it's important to sort of recognize the voice in your head. Like if you have a critical voice that's kind of beating you down, to be able to redirect it, not take it personally, to then go for a hike or do something creative to really pull yourself out of that.
That's true. It's like my little sister. She actually drew that picture. Like she loves to draw. She loves drawing.
That's awesome.
Like when you talk about art and all, that's really cool. Honestly, it's really cool. Now, favorite band, artist, and type of music.
I don't know. The older I get, the more into the Beatles I've been than ever before. So I'd probably say the Beatles are my favorite band. But I like Radiohead, and I like Led Zeppelin, and I like Tupac, and I like I like a lot of soul music. I like Otis Redding. I like Al Green. Um, I like Motown, different Motown. Uh, yeah, I mean, just a lot of different kind of stuff. Stevie Wonder, one of the greats.
That's true. Do you like Huey Lewis at all? Huey Lewis in the news?
I do. I like Huey Lewis.
You do?
Is he one of your favorites?
Yeah, he's actually one of my favorites. I interviewed him. I became good friends with him. I'll tell him you say hello.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, he's a great artist.
I love 80s. That's why I'm a big 80s I love oh my god.
There's something wonderful about the 80s music. It's just really, it's a vibe. Like it's like yacht rock, but it's just, there's something really grounding. Like for me too, like it's really fun. It's a fun time period for music.
Yeah, that's true. Now, favorite sports and favorite teams. Like sports, do you have favorite sports and teams, David?
I like the Dodgers. I like the Rams. I like the the Lakers. I mean, I grew up in Los Angeles, so that's been sort of my thing. Now I'm here in Tennessee. We have the Titans, which are cool. Um, but those are my favorite sports. I like playing basketball.
Okay.
My favorite things to do.
My best friend actually is a player on the Titans, believe it or not.
Oh, how cool. That's
He's-
awesome.
He's their left tackle, the starting left tackle, which is really cool.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And oh, you were saying?
No, it's just a crazy sport to be a part of.
Yeah, I'd be nervous, like being a football player, like the concussions, all that stuff. But you, like, oh my, you could imagine too.
Yeah, wrestling's pretty rough on the body too. Not, I mean, it's different kind of thing, but there's some
I could only wrestle. Like, oh god, I can't do that. Like, you were really like strong.
it's a painful sport. I can't believe these guys do it all the time. I mean, when they get really, like, when you wrestle someone who's a real veteran, like they know what they're doing and they have their sort of routine down, you could kind of wrestle those guys, 6 days a week. They're just so good at it. They make it, like, even when you've hit the ground and take these bumps, for some reason, it just flows. It's easier. Sometimes when you're in with other people, it can be more dangerous.
Makes sense. Now, do you have a favorite food? What is your favorite food? What do you say?
I'd say probably Italian food, but I like barbecue. I like to make barbecue. But Italian food overall would probably be my favorite. Like, I love, when you meet an Italian family and they have like a homemade sauce that they call it gravy in some places, and when that, like, they've cooked it all day and they do all the stuff, the meatballs and sausages and peppers, stuff like that. That's just really cool.
Well, you actually did get to meet another Italian family.
Yeah, of course. That's awesome.
So you mentioned.
Does your mom make a gravy?
Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm getting hungry now just thinking about
I
it.
know, it's the best.
Yeah. Oh my god, yes. Now, do you have any projects in the works? Are there anything come up in the works for David? Do you have any
I have a
projects?
few things that are coming out. I have a film called Mob Cops coming out, where I play a cop. I play a cop a lot, actually. It's pretty funny. And then I have a movie called The Perfect Gamble coming out. And then I have a film.
Is it the Chuck, Hank, and the San Diego Twins? That one?
No, that one got lost in the ethers. I don't know
Really?
what happened to that. Yeah. I think they had a dispute over the different directors. When I did it, I was so impressed that there were so many people shooting the movie that they had like 2 or 3 directors. I was like, this is incredible. They had like 9 cameras on different shoots, all these guys shooting. But I think the fact that they had all those people involved somehow got in the way of it actually being released. So that's a bummer. But that was a cool movie too. I played a crazy character in it. And then what else was there? This one called Stranglehold coming out as well, that I have a small role in.
Well, any role with David Arquette, in it, it's gonna be amazing. That's all I know. That's all I know.
Well, thank you.
Of course. I wish they didn't kill Dewey off. I wish you could have been like another movie.
Me too. Well, it's a horror movie, so hopefully they'll be like, "Oh, we can do anything we want."
Yeah.
My theory is like, it's supposedly that that incredible actress Mikey is the one that killed me.
Yeah.
And I was just saying, like, she could have got me, but maybe she didn't, go too deep.
Yeah, too bad. Yeah, she didn't do that much.
And I was in a hospital, so maybe right after the cameras cut, they rushed in. They pulled me into a.
Never know. That'd be
You never
something.
know. Yeah.
Well, look, they're saying that Matthew Lillard's still alive. You know that, right?
I don't know. There's been theories about that for a long time. He's such a wonderful actor. He's such a wonderful guy too. He's just really great person.
Like, there's a lot of theories. Like, if he comes back to you, I'd be like, he's back.
Yeah, Yeah, anything's possible there.
Yeah. Now, what advice would you give younger people who want to go in the industry, like become an actor, actress? What's David's advice? What's your
Ooh,
wise?
my advice?
What do you got?
Just to do plays, do like study film, study different things, read plays, read scripts, get together with your friends, surround yourself with people who also like it, read different scenes, try to stand up and perform a scene, film it on your phone. You just start learning everything you can about it. Like that's what it's all about. You just all your energy you just direct toward that. I mean, we all do these things that sort of take us away from stuff like that. And you know, even like I have kids, so they're like, oh, I have to do my homework, or you know, they'd much rather like play video games or this or that nowadays. But when you there's room to do that and have fun as well. But I just know growing up, I spent so much time I did like, you know, take it all seriously, but I did waste a lot of time just in general, uh, you know, being able to direct more or write things. So yeah, it's just doing plays. It's like staying involved. When I did like my wrestling documentary or Ready to Rumble and got involved in wrestling, or I love Bob Ross, so I'm a certified Bob Ross instructor, and I could teach people how to paint like that. And these different things, I do all those things because I love them. I do music now because I love it. I work with my friend and we write songs. I was singing this morning, and I do those things because I love them. But when you get involved in these different things, the different businesses, like most of the people on a film set are on a film set because they love movies or they love sound and they're doing the sound in it, or they love cameras, so they're shooting it, or they're, one of the camera assistants, or, they love organizing, so they're part of the production team. Whatever it is that your skill set is, you can apply it to whatever you love.
That's true. I always like that too. Like, stay humble. Remember where you came from. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really important thing just in life for sure.
Very true. Very true. Now, what's one thing you want to tell the Scream fans at home that are watching? What's one thing David, aka Dewey, wants to say to the Scream fans at home?
I just like to thank them, really. I get to meet a lot of them when I go to sort of different conventions or screenings or something. And I just really appreciate the love that they've shown me. And it means a lot to me to be able to, I don't know, to be able to entertain them. I mean, that's really what we do this for, to entertain people, to allow them to have an escape, to fall in love with these different characters or stories, and just be swept away for the moment. And it's just a great uh, honor to be able to do that. And I really appreciate when people love it.
Yeah, and like legit, everyone like I agree, but everyone says Dewey's the best character. Like everyone says.
It's so sweet. I know. There, a lot of people say that, but I mean, Nev's just incredible, and Courtney and Gail Weathers is just incredible. I'm so glad those two are coming back.
So does Dewey. He needs to come back somehow. So
That's right.
before I ask you my last question, David, do you have any questions? Does David have a question?
How long have you been doing your podcast?
I've been doing them since April 29th of 2020 during the pandemic. When people were like
Cool.
locked in. Because people were really depressed and down during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I wanted to lift people up, make people smile, cheer them up. Positivity. I told you I love love and positivity. It's why.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That's why I'm doing Bozo and all that stuff.
And you gotta come here again for Bozo. Like, that'd be cool. Bozo comes back.
I know. I want to. We had such a fun time there in Chicago.
Really cool. Now, David, is there anything you like to promote? The viewers could check out. Or anything you want to promote and shout out?
Well, there's different Bozo items that are now becoming available. There's new stuff out there. So check bozo.com and you can see if there's anything. There's a new Oh, there's an LP. Like we did 3 songs that are out through Martha's Music at madamzuzus.com. So there's a limited. There's I think there's 300, and I think there's may have sold some half of them at least. And then there's at royalmagic.com there's some Bozo giant toothbrush, and there's a giant comb, and there's a giant glasses. There's these different fun giant things that I signed a bunch of them too. And then there's also at Red Nose Factory, there's a new Bozo clown nose that sort of hooks into your nose. It's a real professional clown nose. So Red Nose Factory. A lot of those things are on the bozo.com. If not, they're at those different places I mentioned.
I'll link all that down. I also, if you like, I could also link down the Lexus Arquette Family Foundation, help raise awareness.
Yeah, that's actually called the Lexus Project. It's through VIP. VIP is a really amazing organization in Los Angeles.
I love to help raise awareness, about.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks again, David, for being an awesome and amazing guest and an incredible and fun time chatting with you. Thank you, David.
You too. Thank you, Joey.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody, and stay awesome. You stay awesome, David.
You stay awesome too, Joey.